Good afternoon, students. We'll start now. In the last class, we have discussed what is digital image processing. We have seen different terminologies. We have seen the definition of image. We have seen the definition of digital image processing. So, if you remember, digital image processing, we use the computer to process the digital image. Okay, and that whole procedure is known as digital image processing. Then we have differentiated the image processing field from the computer vision field. We have drawn that boundary between these two fields, and we have noted down which the processes which are involved in image processing and the processes involved in computer vision. Okay, now in today's class we are going to study the origins of digital image processing, that means the history of digital image processing, and the examples of field that uses digital image processing, means the applications of DIP. Okay, so let us start now. So the origins of digital image processing. The first application of digital image processing was in the field of newspaper industry, and this was the first image that was transmitted between the London and New York using the submarine line in the year of 1921. Okay, the instruments which are used in that period was very basic. Okay, that's why you can see the image quality is not that good. Okay, this is the image that was captured in the year of 1922. In that period, some advancement was done, and this image is captured using the 15 levels of gray. For capturing this image, only 5 levels of gray were used. Okay, that's why you can see a better tonal quality and better resolution for this image. Okay, but up till now there was no role of computer involved in these applications. That's why we cannot regard these applications as the digital image processing task. Okay, actually the progress of field of digital image processing has been dependent on the development of digital computers. In this period there was no digital computers. Okay, so here I have listed the evolution of computers, and with this evolution of computers our field of digital image processing also kept evolving. Okay, so in the year of 1940s, John von Neumann proposed his famous architecture, which is known as von Neumann architecture. It has two key components which was required for the digital image processing, and those components were the first one is the memory to store the program and data. That architecture has two key components. First component was the memory to hold the program and the data, and second one was the CPU to process the data. Okay, then in the year of 1948 we have seen the invention of transistor by Bell Labs. Then during 1950 and 1960s many high level languages were developed. For example COBOL and Fortran were developed in this period. In 1958, we have seen the invention of integrated circuits by Texas Instruments. In 1960s, operating systems were developed. In 1970s, Intel has proposed the microprocessor, and it was the first chip to have CPU, memory, and input-output control units on the same chip. Okay, and in the year of 1981. IBM has developed the personal computers, and in the early 1980s we have seen the invention of VLSI circuits, and concurrently there was a development in the field of mass storage and display systems. Okay, so with this evolution of computers, okay, so digital image processing field also evolved. This is the first image of a moon taken by the US spacecraft Ranger 7 in the year of 1964. And actually the first computer powerful enough to carry out the image processing task appeared in early 1960s. Okay, so by 1960s we had a computer to process the image. In early 1970s, the CT scans were invented. So CT stands for computerized tomography. This is all about the history of image processing, digital image processing. Now we are very much familiar with the images which are taken in the visible spectrum. Okay, but our imaging equipments, that is also known as imager, can use the whole electromagnetic spectrum for capturing the image. Okay, so this diagram is showing the electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, so if you go from the left to right, the energy and the frequency are decreasing, whereas the wavelength of the rays are increasing. Okay, so on the leftmost part we have gamma rays, then we have X-rays, ultraviolet rays, and then small range of the visible spectrum, then infrared rays, microwaves, and radio waves. Actually we use radio waves for mobile communication because their wavelength is more and the energy required is very less, so they can travel a greater distance and they can penetrate through the walls also. Okay, so we have different applications. Okay, so we have different application which makes use of whose sources are these different types of rays. Okay, so we can categorize the application on the basis of their sources. So we can have a application which uses X-rays, which we can have a application which uses the radio waves. Okay, so we can categorize the application on the basis of their sources. So these are the category. So we will be seeing the application which use gamma ray imaging, we will be seeing the application which use X-ray imaging, and so on. So let us see those application one by one. First category of application which uses the gamma ray imaging are medical imaging and astronomy. Okay, so for gamma ray imaging, the patient is injected with the radioactive isotope, and that isotope emits the gamma rays. Okay, and the image is constructed by the emission collected by the gamma ray detectors. Okay, so this is the image of a bone scan. And another application of gamma ray imaging is the astronomy. Okay, so this is the image of a Cygnus loop, which is the superheated stationary gas cloud. Okay, so we can take the image of Cygnus loop using X-ray imaging also, but the details will be different because different particles emits different rays. Okay, so this is the image taken in using gamma ray imaging. Next category is X-ray imaging. Its applications are medical diagnosis, industrial application, and astronomy also. So we are familiar with the X-rays which are taken in the field of medical. Okay, so this is the chest X-ray, and how we take the X-ray image. For that we use X-ray tube which emits the X-ray, and that X-rays are passed through the body. Okay, and during the transfer the attenuation of the X-ray happens. And what do you mean by attenuation? Attenuation is the weakening of strength. Okay, so it will not pass that much through the bones. Okay, and on the other hand of the body there will be a detector or a film on which the image is constructed. Okay, so this is how the X-ray image is constructed. Another application is the angiography. So you may have heard this term, that is angiography. Okay, so it is used to detect the irregularity or blockages in the arteries or veins. Okay, so for that we inject the X-ray contrast element using the hollow tube in the arteries. Okay, so we inject the patient with the contrast element that enhances the contrast of the arteries. Okay, so that the blood vessels will be clearly visible, and the radiologist can easily see the blockages in the arteries and veins. Okay, so that is a process of angiography. This is the image of Cygnus loop which is captured using the X-ray imaging. So you can clearly see this image is somewhat different. Now another application of X-ray imaging is in the industrial inspection. So this is the image of a PCB circuit board. So here we can inspect for the missing components or the broken parts. Next band is the ultraviolet band. Okay, so here the applications are industrial inspection, microscopy, lasers, biological imaging, and astronomical observation. This is one example. So we have a magnified image of a normal cone. Okay, and this is the magnified image of a smut cone. Actually, a smutting is a fungal disease which affects the corn plants. Okay, so you can clearly see that these two images are different. Okay, and this smutting converts the corn, because of the smutting corn becomes blackish. Okay, that is the disease that occurs on a corn plant. Next one, the most famous one is the applications using visible band and infrared band. Actually, infrared bands are used in conjunction with the visible band. That's why we have combined these two fields. Okay, so its applications are light microscopy, astronomy, remote sensing, and industries. Okay, so these are the example of light microscopy. And what is light microscope? So it is an instrument that uses the visible light and the magnifying lenses to observe the small objects which are not visible with the naked eye. So you can see here, this is a CD surface which is magnified using 1750x zoom. This is the surface of a nickel oxide which is magnified using 600x zoom. And this is the magnified image of a microprocessor. So this is how you can use the light microscopy to observe the small objects. Another application is the remote sensing. So in the visible spectrum we have different bands, and each band has its characteristic and uses. For example, visible blue band, whose wavelength is this range, can be used to observe the water penetration. The thermal infrared can be used to observe the soil moisture and thermal mapping. Okay, so these are the 7 images taken in the 7 bands of the same place. Okay, so you can see each has different details. You can observe that the river is clearly visible in the 4th, 5th, and 7th image. We can have application in weather prediction also. So this is the image of Hurricane Katrina taken in the year of 2005. So with the help of satellite imaging we can predict the weather. This is the image of a infrared imaging system. Okay, so this is the image of North America taken in the night. Okay, so here it can be used to find the regions of a human settlement. Okay, you can see in the west region of North America we have a desert. That's why we can observe a smaller number of bright spot in this region. Okay, we can use the visible and infrared band imaging for the automated industrial inspection. So a few examples are given here. So we can inspect for the missing peel in the strip, or we can observe for the bottle which is not filled up to the required level, or we can observe for the defective part. As you can see, this plastic material has a bubble, so it will have a lesser strength, so we can neglect that material. Next category is the microwave band imaging. So this is the image of mountains in the Tibetan region. Now this image is not possible using visible band. Why? Because of the environmental condition. We may have a cloud. Okay, so we cannot capture that image using the okay, so we cannot capture this image using the visible band imaging. Okay, so the last category is the radio band imaging. Okay, so its applications are the medicine and astronomy. So here we have the MRI image of a knee and the spine. Okay, so for taking the radio band images, we we pass the short pulse of the radio wave through the body, okay, and which is captured by the detector on the other side, and this is how the MRI image is produced. Okay, so we have seen few applications of the image processing and computer vision. Okay, so we have numerous applications of image processing. Okay, so these are all those fields. So we'll stop here. Please mark your attendance.